morning and welcome to Trading with Larry Benedict, joined by Eric Shamalov. Good morning, Eric. Big day
Good
yesterday in
morning,
S&P.
Larry. What's
Mhm.
up, man?
Everything is quiet. Big up day in S&P again. Waiting, for Nvidia's earnings, and earnings were better, but again, the stock hasn't really moved. It's up $1 or something, very little. It was funny. It was up $1. It was up $5, $6 last night. Spook couldn't rally, and then it goes down. Spoos go down, and then now it still can't rally. It's up $1, and spoos go up, and Nasdaq goes up. So it must be another hidden culprit inside of the index that we've been talking about. But
I
market.
don't know. You look at Nvidia earnings reactions the last few quarters, and it's always kind of counterintuitive. Um, you see frequently weakness in Nvidia, and the market is okay. Um, but in general, I feel like everybody fixates on earnings with Nvidia, like it's the big daddy. It's coming. It's gonna move the market, and okay, so it's up and down 3-4%, but on a daily basis it does that, and the market hasn't cared about Nvidia in like 7 months.
No. Oh, I know they don't care, but when it gets to 170, they care. They start crying. Dude, it's the
Yeah.
Bitcoin cry, bro. The Bitcoin cry.
What'd you think of the earnings report?
I don't know. I didn't really parse through it. I mean, listen, I think this market is, the broad market is like schizo. It always goes higher, but it's schizo. One day they're worried about AI spend. They're worried about this. They're worried about that. And then literally you shake off 2 days later. I mean, the S&P is up basically 180 handles in the last 2.5 trading days, from closing near the year low. I mean, it was in jeopardy of taking out the year on the downside, and then you come in and you're looking at an S&P back at 7,000 for some reason. I don't know why. I don't think it's caused by earnings. I'm not really quite sure, at all. Really, the big story today, which isn't even really a story because it's pretty much a done deal, that the Iranian nuclear deal, they're sitting and chatting. I don't know how they can do a deal in like 4 days. I know they were trying to do deals through back channels, but I want to just spend a couple of minutes trying to understand what is the deal. Like what? Okay, so they're gonna what? They already said they're gonna enrich uranium. If they say they're not gonna enrich uranium, they're gonna do it anyway. Okay, because they said it's their natural right to enrich uranium. Okay, we should say no. Okay, so the deal today will be a deal. What does he always say? A framework for a deal that's they're gonna stop
We're
their
gonna find a
nuclear
buoy.
capacity. So oil's down about 2% off that deal. I still like oil. I hope it gets a negative reaction, when it comes out. Since I got up this morning, S&P has ramped 20 handles again, from down like 10 to up 8 on the highs of the day as we speak. Not quite sure why. I mean, I am. It's just a rig. I mean, they just want to take the market up. So you know, that's what I'm seeing here.
But what do you make of the Nvidia reaction? Another record quarter, right? He got his pom poms out. Uh, One thing I got from a lot of commentary is that there was a lack of excitement in him this time around. I don't know if you feel that way, but that's what I've been hearing.
Maybe he didn't get sleep. I
Yeah,
don't
I think
know.
I think he was sick or something. That's what I hear. But
I don't know, dude. What kind of enthusiasm? He said AI doesn't have a problem and software companies don't. No one has a problem. Okay. So it's as good as it could get. You ask why the stock has two things. Stock has a muted reaction position because this is as good as it could get. Also, if you look at the stock chart, which you could pull, the stock's been going straight up from 170 in the last 2 weeks into earnings and didn't have a down day for months and months and months and months. So, that's one thing that I 100% see. And if you look, you could even pull it up now. You can look at the straddle. The straddle was pricing in like a 6% move. We didn't even get a 1% move. So
Yeah.
straddle was extremely light and extremely strange, to be honest, how low it was. But they know somehow the same way they know right now. There's someone out there. I know you think I'm crazy, but there's someone out there or a firm out there that knows exactly where we're going to close today, barring some kind of economic or geopolitical event. Okay, that's how rigged up this stock market is. So it's a
You know,
blatant.
I'm warming up to your rig theory. Jane Street is getting some attention with some Bitcoin manipulation. It's just that we as traders, we always know that somebody's manipulating it, and I think we kind of just ignore it. But I feel like with the technology that they have now, it's becoming more blatantly obvious. So the new thing is Jane Street manipulating Bitcoin at like 10 a.m., knocking it down just to buy it lower. But
Really?
you know, within Bitcoin circles, like within real crypto diehards, they never use stops because they know that it's easily manipulated. So I'm
I
kind of
mean,
warming up to your rig theory.
yeah. I mean, listen, it's totally the markets are totally rigged. They they want to keep the market up because as long as the market's going up, they have buyers behind them and they're able to front run orders. When things get sketchy, like you saw a couple of weeks ago, machines shut off. I mean, and we didn't even have a big move. Machines shut off. They remember that day we were up, down, up, down, up, down, and then they just went in the back room, pulled the plug. you know, um, this is a how you have like a man-made lake. This is a machine manipulated up move, okay? So that they could get everyone, basically back alive and hopefully for them start trading again because the more people that trade, the more they can front run. So that you know
Just want to get back to Nvidia. What you had an interesting position on that you were telling me about. You want to share that with everyone
what
in
is
Nvidia?
it in Nvidia? Nah, I just had 200, 210, 230, basically one by two or broken butterfly. And it's a non-event. I hope I could sell the front end of it. I can't even get out of the front end. Probably my calls went out at the 200 calls went out at $4. The stock is up 80 basis points, and my market on those calls is $2. So I'm, on the broken butterfly. If I break even and make small, it'll be a victory. So it's a non-event trade. The one that I don't want to hit you too hard, but the Bitcoin trade, which my people hopefully on the left side of this screen had up 8% yesterday. Um, um, and
What'd you
basically,
wind up doing with it?
I got out of it.
Oh,
I
you got
have
it.
I have small I have small I have a small position which I kind of like. Long next Friday's 40 calls and short this Friday's 40 calls in IBIT. Um, you know, I don't really have a delta directional trade, but next week I'll be back long it if I get like I am long it through this position, but very low cost. What did you do? Because I know you got stopped in.
I'm in. I'm in. First thing I did was trade futures on it above 68. It hit 68, went to like 69.5. into the close. So that was I got a little bit of that, and then for longer term, I just I added MSTR to my long short equity book, and I had a rolled Coinbase in the money put spreads that really paid off yesterday. But
Nice.
I think Coinbase could hit 200.
Good. So then you
Yeah,
were actually long it. You didn't,
yeah,
you
but
were
it was.
actually long.
I
You
have
just
so
didn't
many
want to admit it.
big
Okay.
position. Yeah, it was a rolled position, but it wasn't like I was making money. I was making money back on Coinbase, pretty
Right.
much.
All right. Well, listen, I think, like I said, I got to wrap early today, so I have like 20 minutes, but I definitely want to, take a look at, gold. Something crazy happened in the metals yesterday. The exchange went down for a couple hours. Okay. But here's the thing I thought was the most interesting thing about it. Okay. And it just shows you how scammed up this market is. Okay. So the metals are not trading, but the ETFs are trading, Eric. Okay. But the ETFs move off of the price of metal, correct? Like GLD moves off the price of what metal futures are doing. What the spot metal is doing, what the futures are doing. That thing is zinging up and down, and you don't even have gold trading. I mean, it was like, I'm like, how is this thing even moving? But it's degenerate gambling that's going on, part of the whole mantra of the market. This is all degenerate gambling.
Well,
So that
well,
they don't even need what?
the cash was moving though.
I didn't see the
While
cash. I didn't
yeah,
see the cash. I didn't see the
yeah.
cash moving. I'm just telling you, it was moving off of air. And then what you saw is it reopened with a few minutes to go. And then they blasted. You even called me, and I'm like, it's not a big move. You're like, look what they did in gold. It like went down $60 in 2 minutes.
As soon as
What?
the CME, yeah, as soon as the CME opened back up, it was like silver went like straight down. Um,
Exactly. But here's the thing listen, I crude came back already, but I really wanted to buy it in the opening hours, in the opening session at 9:30. It's only down $1 now. But listen, I mean, they're thinking what I don't understand is, do they actually think there's going to be a nuclear deal that is going to be sustainable or anything like that? I mean, is that really what people think? I mean, is that honestly? Listen, I went to Syracuse. I love the university, but it's not Harvard, okay, or whatever, which is probably good. But it's I'm smart enough to understand that there is no chance that they're honoring anything. I don't know if you remember back; it was a bunch of years ago. We used to have the nuclear inspectors. Remember those guys? They would go into Iran to inspect their nuclear stuff, and then one day Iran kicked them out. Like, you're not coming in here anymore. You're out. Like, these are the worst acting characters that we've ever dealt with in our life. Okay. They're the axis of evil, as someone once said. Okay. How are you doing a deal, or why do you want to do a deal? What deal could be good enough? Any deal that they say they're not going to do. They're just buying time. They're clowning us. And it's getting ridiculous. And maybe we come out of this meeting with something real, meaning like that there is no deal and that we have to basically do whatever we have to do. But I don't see that. I mean, markets are not indicating that to me. And then my better question to you is, silver and gold, if there's a good Iranian deal that they put up, why would gold and silver not be down a ton? I mean, isn't that the whole thing? Where gold and silver were up on the first move up was all that stuff in Iran and geopolitical. So like, there's no geopolitical right now, right? I mean, if we on that end, if we do this deal, so I mean, that's you know what I'm thinking. That's what I'm seeing. I think gold.
yeah,
I mean,
that's why I wasn't like in a rush to buy oil as part of that trade yesterday, and I'm looking for like a little bit of downside in silver back to the lower 80s, hopefully even upper 70s. Um, yeah, I think that premium should get hit a little bit. But you kind of touched on something interesting. Like, are we that stupid to think that there's anything that positive that can happen out of this? Something that Americans get called internationally, whether it's in Europe, Canada, anywhere in the world. One thing that they say about Americans is that Americans are very naive. So
I mean,
we're
I
kind of
don't know. I'm
naive.
not going to go out with that. I don't know if that's true, but I would just say I think this is all DJT, thinking like, the guy claims he stopped 8 wars. I can't name one, but he stopped 8 of them, okay? And I think he wants to say he did a deal. All the guy wants to do is deals. Like he thinks he's doing deals. How many times have we done the South Korea deal? Like 8? We've had a trade deal with South Korea 8 different times. Isn't that frustrating to you to listen to? I mean, it's ridiculous. And I think the market's muted reaction to almost everything is scary in the longer term. And, the question is, the market is all bulled up. Is it gonna trade? They want it to trade the high. It's interesting. We really haven't had a down month at all. At all. If we had one, it would be like 10 basis points in a year. We've gone a full year without a down month. The S&P is now positive on the month, believe it or not. Positive on the month after being
So
down over.
all the seasonal weakness for February is now behind us. Do
I
you
don't
do you
know.
agree with
I don't
that
think
assessment?
we had barely any weakness. I mean, I guess, going down 1.5% is really weak. I mean, I don't know. The most we were down was 2% at the most. Okay. I mean, that doesn't seem seasonally anything. It's a contrived, rigged market. VIX is going to trade below 17. Okay. On Monday, it was 21, dude. 21 on Monday. And because the S&P rallied 2%, they crash it. Isn't that weird to you?
Yeah, VIX is down today, huh? VIX is down. Nasdaq looks like it's trying to close the gap with the futures close from last night. Things I'm looking at. Blue Owl. By the way, Blue Owl, right? I'm looking at the yield on Blue Owl. It's offering an 8% yield. 8% yield, and you could get like 4%, right?
Well, is that a
On
good? I wouldn't touch that for 8%. No way.
right. You wouldn't touch that for 8%. I wouldn't either. It's like, what is the market thinking? Like, why would they accept such a small premium to the treasury yield?
Because they kind of think it's money good, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I just know that, it's annoying to sit through this stuff on a daily basis of this, like we had really good trading Monday and then Tuesday up,
Yeah.
Wednesday up, Thursday up, Friday up, Monday up, whatever. It's back to the same nonsense. As one of my friends who watches the podcast, he always says every down day, great trading, great trading. I'm like, dude, it's like one in every 10 days is great trading. Okay. I mean, there's no trading. They bailed these guys out fully again for the 90th time. And, maybe today, maybe we open up and go down. I mean, that would make a lot of sense. But again, the powers to be are rigging this thing for month end, I'm assuming. There's only one more day to go in the month, right? It's a short month. So they're rigging it up for that. It's funny, like the nuclear deal can only be a positive. It can't even be a negative. Like if they storm out of the meeting and there's no deal, still they'll say it's bullish. They'll do a deal next month or whatever. They never leave the meeting. It's like remember the China meetings? They would meet for like 25 minutes and they're like, "Oh, great framework for a deal." Do you think that to DJT only has 2 more years left of real, okay, for the most part, a little more than two, okay? Do you think China wants to do a deal, or do they want to wait till this? guy leaves. I mean, come on. And
I think that's an obvious, yeah, it's an obvious answer. Just
right.
wait.
So the bottom line, and why does the guy want to meet Trump? For what reason? The last time he met Trump, literally, you saw it. He stared the guy down. I mean, he literally, Trump's like, "Great, buddy, how you doing?" And the guy's like, man, we're real and you're not." And it was kind of embarrassing, to be honest.
I don't know. I think they don't look good on stage together. They both have like these boxy suits, and he looks like Winnie the Pooh, and Trump looks like Trump. And it was just such a cringy. It was a cringy moment. It was very cringy. But what do you think about today? We have a 37, 38 point straddle. 40 points down. The puts are trading at 650 on the SPX cash.
I
40
I
points.
am more leery of the downside than the upside. I think again, I think we should be down right now, but we're somehow up. Small, obviously, but they're buying, and I think we're going to see both sides of unchanged. I'm not sure. I obviously you have the nuclear thing hanging in the background. It's not really a big deal. They're going to do a deal, but God forbid there is no deal, and things break up, and I don't think we're going to bomb them, because if we were going to bomb them, we've given them enough time to move all their nuclear weapons. So you know,
Well, the Ayatollah is living in a bunker right now. What's interesting about the options today, the 69.15, which is one straddle level down, right? So the straddle is around 40 points, right? Implied open 69.55 SPX, so you 40 points up and down, right? And you want to compare where the calls and puts are. The puts at 69.15 are trading at 650, right? And the calls up at 69.95 are only trading at 260. So the puts have like a $4 premium on them.
yeah,
Is
that's
that
always dude, that's
a little
always Yeah, but that's always the way it is. It's called put skew, so they have the
right?
put, but it's very interesting because if you looked at Workday, who had earnings 2 days ago, their put call, when you looked up and down, their call skew was higher. And in Nvidia, it's the same thing. The call skew was higher. So, in general, usually indexes trade with puts being higher than calls, to the downside for sure. Sometimes on zero DTE, you don't see that as much, but you know, uh, you're seeing, you're seeing it a little bit today, but I don't think that's out of the norm or telling you any kind of story. Calls usually trade cheaper. I mean, we've been a bull market for 27 years, so calls should probably trade more expensive, but I just think the level of complacency and the level of lack of movement. I mean, literally, gold is swinging up and down 200 every single hour. It's not moving. Oil, which was cratering a minute ago, has firmed up, and is just sitting right about, I don't know, 80. The low was 63.60 on the front contract that we're trading, and it's up a dollar from there. I don't. Why would it be up a dollar from there? Why would they be puking it out, pre anything, and then bringing it back a dollar if they think there's going to be a nuclear deal? And listen, this
Well,
is just
the short sellers got a nice move and they want to take a little profit.
yeah, but it's not a little profit. It's half the move back already. The move
Yeah.
is already halfway back. So I don't know, but you have me for
In
six
general, like
minutes.
what you see in oil, like you have your move down, you're like, okay, we're gonna there's gonna be follow through, right? We're gonna get more. I'm seeing that in silver. I'm seeing that in gold. It's like it makes a move, and you're on that move, and you're thinking, okay, like how much do I take off the table? I don't want to take anything off the table because I think it's going even lower, and then they just start buying it back, buying it back, buying it back.
Yeah, but let me just say this: there's nothing in the cards for silver, gold, and oil today. Meaning there is no zero DTE. So, like yesterday was zero DTE and it blasted down $60. Okay. All this stuff is rigged for zero DTE, for option expirations. Okay. Listen, the S&P for the year now is up,
Very, very interesting. That's actually very interesting.
but the
So,
S&P for the year is up 1.5%, but we move 100 handles every hour. It's all zero DTE, my son. Okay,
so gold
and
has
I only have 5 minutes, but I'm gonna leave you with the Ken and Jane rig that they're just rigging up markets to zero. Dude, you said something about Bitcoin. I don't even know what they possibly could be doing in Bitcoin. I mean, you
what do
know,
you mean?
but if I mean, I'd like to see the article
Easy.
if
So
you
easy to manipulate anything in crypto if you have money. Very easy. You
but
don't even have to do
is there an
it
article out
on
time?
the Coinbase exchange. You don't even have to do it on the Coinbase exchange. You could do it in some foreign exchange.
Dude,
And
is there, I'm asking you, is there an article out about it? Where you're
yeah,
just saying, okay,
yeah,
so
I
then,
didn't get a chance to read it, but you could search it up on Twitter. I just saw a lot of people posting something on the Jane Street. I just read the headline, but there's I think a lawsuit about it coming up. So I'm gonna take a read a little bit later. Yeah,
okay. Um,
we got some questions for you and for me from our beloved chat. Larry, can you touch on something? Can you? This is from Josh. Larry, can you touch on something I've been noticing? The margin requirements for silver and gold seem to be changing almost every day. Why is this happening? Are they controlling these moves? What do you think?
well, I would answer that question, okay, in two quick ways. And again, I only have like 3, 4 minutes. So I would say this. Exchange touched those margins a couple of times. What's happening is I don't know where you have your clearing firm, if it's Interactive Brokers, Robinhood, wherever. That's internal at the clearing firm level. So you're seeing those changes not from the exchange, but from the clearing firm level. And the clearing firm, which is kind of that's even more manipulated because the clearing firm probably has the opposite positions and they're changing margin requirements on players on a daily basis based on their view of volatility. So what you're seeing when you're seeing these changes are not from the CME, okay? They're from your exchange. So I would talk to your exchange, your clearing firm. I would talk to your clearing firm, get better advisory on what's going on and why they're doing that to you. Okay, so I think that's important. So it is the firm, and then you may want to move firms because some firms are much tighter on requirements than others and may change them. Like Interactive Brokers is known for killing people by raising margins into big moves, even though you're not at risk of going into their money. So that would be the answer to that. It's really on the clearing firm level.
Nice. There you go, Josh. And Mr. Peter Pierce, for me, what numbers am I seeing today? Like I said, I'm seeing that 69, 69, 15, 69, 10 area. Pretty enticing on the. I just think it could wind up being an iron condor kind of day.
Every time you say that, it never happens. All right.
It always happens.
All
And
right. Well,
I don't know. I'm looking at 60. I don't want to take too much risk to the downside. I am bearish. But I'm seeing the VIX kind of lower, right? I'm seeing the market do its typical counterintuitive thing on an Nvidia report. Um, I, I know you think the Iran deal is going to be the biggest thing ever. I don't.
never said that. Never said that. I'm saying it's not anything. I'm saying even if they blow up the deal and we're going to strike them, we're still bullish. I mean, it's crazy. But
So my
anyway,
plan today, I want to kind of. I usually do like a 10 or 15 point spread. I'm gonna do an iron condor. I think right close to the open or at the open. I'm gonna bring in the spread about 5 points to reduce risk and then trade around that. But I think my first position is going to be a 69.15, 69.10 put spread, and then on top of that, a 69, 90, 95, or maybe 95 even call spread, struck basically selling the the straddle, on the wings, pretty much. I
Okay.
think that's
I mean,
what it is.
I think that we're gonna open or be around flat, and then I think we're gonna test some downside. I just don't know how much, and then maybe rally back, and then get set up for tomorrow. For them to take it up. The one thing I want to leave with, it's 9:01 and I have to get out of here, but you know, Bitcoin is down 2%. Are you actually bullish on it now because it traded at that price? That's I want to leave us with that. I just want to go on a record if you're bullish right now, okay? Because
Yeah,
listen, we
I'm in
got
it.
the move. I do think you can
What
buy
moved
this.
it? You got 4,000 Bitcoin points. Is that? I mean, it's nice. It's nice. It's a nice to have. I think it could get back.
Dude, in the Bitcoin market that we live in now, having a 4.5% move is an outsized up day for sure. Okay,
Yeah,
so you
yeah,
know, but I'm asking you from here. Now the market pulled all the way back in. It's lower than your levels of whatever, and again, listen. I got the move I was looking for. That's the kind of move. I do think we may trade off today and trade the other side and go positive again, but we're going to see what Bitcoin's made of today. And, again, keep an eye on oil. You know, Commodities, gold and silver, if they do an Iranian nuclear deal, I don't know what that could possibly be or what people think that could be. Okay, but it's not going to be real or sustainable. So metal should trade down off of that, but the deal, whatever it is, will not be sustained. Anyway, I have to run. I don't have time for questions. So what you can do is write into the feedback at the opportunistictrader.com. I do an AMA, which is Ask Me Anything, and I spend probably about an hour answering questions every Friday. We do not have a show. We're back Monday, but you can write in and watch the AMA. Enjoy the
I'll
day.
say, I'll say this: Larry definitely pays attention to those comments. He reads them, and whenever there's anything interesting, we always talk about those comments. So definitely write in.
Perfect. Enjoy, guys. Peace. Great trading day.